You're listening to the Everything Kids Books podcast, hosted by Aaron Mackey, a podcast for little learners and their parents who love to read together, as well as the authors who write the books they love. Aaron's written over 20 books for elementary and middle schoolers and has published 5 books. Together, we'll be reading chapters of your favorite books, sharing your original works, giving writing and marketing tips, and interviewing other professionals in the children's book profession. Let's dive in, shall we?
Hi everybody, thanks for listening to Everything's Kids Books. I'm Aaron Mackey, your host, and today's topic is turning your book into an audiobook. Now, there are a lot of benefits to having an audiobook made of your book, but I honestly couldn't find any negatives to talk about today. So let's go ahead and dive into the benefits of audiobooks. The first one is just the exposure. Audiobook sales are growing by leaps and bounds. And in 2019, audiobook sales surpassed ebook sales for Amazon. Now, it is estimated that audiobook sales jumped by 25% from 2017 to 2018, and by another 16% from 2018 to 2019. And it was also found that about 45% of people who purchased smart speakers did so specifically to listen to audiobooks. So you definitely are getting an increase in the demand for audiobooks and an increase in exposure for them. The second benefit is just the ease of using audiobooks. When you think about how easy it is to listen to a book, you can listen to them almost anywhere. While you're driving, if you're on a plane or train, while you're multitasking, and as always, just when you want to relax and enjoy a good book, you can do that just as easily with an audiobook. The third benefit is that a listener can either exchange an audiobook that they don't like or return it easily, but there's no physical product to be handled. So this puts the listener at ease and encourages them to try books they may not have heard of before, which can increase your sales even more. Just having that ability to feel reassured if you don't enjoy the product makes people more likely to try new products that they had not thought of before, which gives you an increased chance of having more sales as people hear about your book for the first time. A fourth benefit is that some people just aren't readers. They consider it too time-consuming to have to stop what they are doing and just read. Or maybe the reader struggles to read because they don't picture the story in their head. My niece struggles with this. She really wants to read, but has trouble getting through an entire book because she gets lost in the story since she doesn't picture any of it. Audiobooks are another option for non-readers that may be the perfect fit and expand your customer pool. There are a few options you can choose from for having an audiobook created. ACX is the largest and the most well-known, but I suggest you also check out the company I'm Hearing Stories, as they are a great company, very user-friendly, and especially if this is your first time stepping into the realm of audiobooks, I think that you'll really enjoy them. There are also sites out there that can help guide you in recording your own audiobook, and then you can publish it through Audible yourself. So there are a lot of options out there for you to be able to jump onto the audiobook bandwagon without it being too overwhelming. So I definitely think you want to give it a try. Now, I'll go over what my process was for this. I personally have used I'm Hearing Stories to create my audiobook for my first middle grade fiction in my Laurel Hill series, Laurel Hill New Beginnings. They do outstanding work. Not only do they have wonderful narrators to choose from, they pay attention to details and help you be as successful as you can be. I received an email from them asking if I would be interested in making an audiobook, and that's how I heard about them. I hadn't really considered it before that point, and I set out to do some research, like I always do before jumping headfirst into some new venture. First, I checked out the company. I don't click links in unsolicited emails or respond without doing my due diligence, and I highly suggest you do the same. There are just too many people out there trying to scam you to take a chance. So after doing my due diligence on the company, I replied to the email expressing my interest in finding out more about the process and costs involved, still not agreeing to anything. Kimberly and Drew Hobshide own and run I'm Hearing Stories, and they are wonderful. Drew responded with some details, including letting me know there was just a $27 startup fee, and the rest of the costs were all royalty-based, which is perfect if you don't have a ton of money to throw into a new venture for your writing. He set up a call with me where Drew and Kimberly went through everything about the process with me, answering any and all questions. They made it so easy to say yes and move forward with producing my audiobook. After sending the manuscript and signing a story agreement, we moved forward. I had several narrators that were interested in doing a tryout for my audiobook. They sent samples of them narrating my book, and I got to choose the narrator I felt did the best job. Jay was an easy pick, as she does phenomenal work. Once I made my choice for a narrator, she got to work recording my book. I received recordings of each chapter, which I listened to and sent back any feedback I had for changes. I had just a couple, but not many. Jay then re-recorded those chapters, and I received the revised ones to be sure I liked how it sounded. After approving all the recordings, I'm Hearing Stories did the rest. They published it on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes, and listed it as a new release on their website. They also sent out free copies to people to get reviews, and I received 10 reviews so far. That's more reviews than I have for the paperback or ebook. They continued to take steps to make this audiobook a success by doing an interview with me and posting it, as well as submitting my audiobook to Audiobox Boom and AudioVox and announcing it on Audiobook Facebook group. One benefit that they also offer is an audiobook blog tour, which they help set up for you. It has a cost of $5 per blog, which is a great rate. I'm already making plans to move forward with turning my second book in the Laurel Hill series into an audiobook, as well as my young adult fantasy, Gossamer Realm New Sight, and my young adult scary short story book, Nightmares Come to Life, Short Stories to Keep You Awake at Night. As you can see, there really is no downside to making an audiobook, and the benefits are definitely worth it. So I highly suggest that you give it a try. That's it today. I really appreciate you guys joining me and listening in. I hope you enjoyed the episode and found it helpful. As always, I would love to hear what topics you would like me to cover in future episodes, so shoot me an email with your suggestions and I'll work them into the show. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless each of you.
Thanks for listening to Everything Kids Books. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review in Apple Podcast. Do you have a favorite children's book? Do you have an original book or chapter that you've written? Email it to Erin at erinmackeyauthor@yahoo.com. It could be featured on the next episode. For more information, to see Erin's published books, and to sign up for Erin's newsletter, visit www.erinmackeyauthor.com. Until next time, keep reading and keep writing.